Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I want to know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah, let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to talk about whatever it is we want to talk about. And today, we are talking about gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. We all have something we can be grateful for. So we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Creator Works Network on RokuTV. This is a safe space for us to communicate with one another. So I invite you to tag a friend and let them know they need to be on here. This is an interactive live, so I fully expect to hear from you tonight. So I have Ozzie Daniel, who is no stranger to Conversations with Nicole. He is helping us close out the month. He's a clinician from Virginia Beach, Virginia. But before I read Ozzie's bio, I want to hear from you. I want to know where you are tuning in from. So if you will, in the comments, please enter your city and state and let me acknowledge you before I bring Ozzie on with me. So I see you, Miss Shirley Wilson in Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you've had a great day, y'all. So while the rest of you are logging on, I want to tell you I had the most wonderful time tonight co-hosting the 2023 Tallahassee Community College Cherry Hall Alexander African American History Calendar unveiling. This is the beautiful calendar that was unveiled tonight. I was an honoree about 3 years ago, actually in 2020. And so these very notable folks in the Tallahassee area were honored, and it was just a lovely time. So congratulations to all the honorees and to Tallahassee Community College for acknowledging the works and the service of notable African Americans here in the Tallahassee community. All right, so I see my mom on here. Thank you, Mom, for being here down in Miami. And my sister Shayla, who is also in South Florida. Thank you for being here. Y'all tell some folks they need to join us because Ozzie's got a lot to say about gratitude, and many of us need to be grateful. Even in the midst of all of what's going on, we still can find something to be grateful for. I see you, Shaquaylin, here in Tally. She was at the unveiling tonight. Thank you for being here, for your continued support. All right, so while others are joining us, I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit of Ozzie's bio for those of you who may not know him. Ozzie Daniel served in the U.S. Navy for 20 years. Thank you for your service. He earned his bachelor's of arts in psychology and then his master's of science in leadership. He's worked as a counselor at a psychiatric center, currently works as a contractor, as a case manager for Virginia Support Services, clinician family coordinator, mental health builder, and he works with young men in the community to help them establish better care for themselves, and particularly homeless men and those with mental conditions through coordination. He also appears live on Rebuilding Lives Again, a faith based platform encouraging and adding value to people's lives through the Word of God in a significant way to bring clarity and understanding by eliminating religious filters. So, y'all, help me welcome my friend. I'm proud to call Ozzie my friend, Ozzie Daniel.
Hello, hello, hello.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Nicole. Happy New Year to everyone who's on right now and who's about to come on later and who's about
Mhm.
to listen into later or
Yes. So
throughout the year. We're in January now.
we in
So,
January
yes,
2023. What you been up to, Ozzy?
man, I've been up to just staying warm,
I
and
feel
dealing
that.
with this bipolar weather in Virginia. The weather was actually in the 60s over the weekend. So I went down to the ocean front, actually, which it was pretty much nobody there,
Got
but actually just getting some fresh air. It
okay.
was nice to get out.
Good, good, good,
But
good.
otherwise, just as the song will say, I'm just drinking my water and minding my business.
Drinking your water and minding your business. Okay. I got my water
Yes.
right here too. Look. Hmm.
Yeah, just keeping my mind focused.
Wonderful.
That's it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. All
What about
right.
you? A whole lot, I know.
Working.
Uh,
Working and serving the peoples.
that's what it's all about.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. I see Mr. Johnny Johnson with us. Thank you, Johnny, for being here. So, Ozzy, tell the people, who is Ozzie Daniel?
Who am I?
Yes.
I am an evolving human being, a man
Mm-hmm.
who serve and worship Elohim, who believe in serving others, valuing others, and just making the best out of every single day of his life.
Okay.
I'm a pops, a brother, a friend. To those who get to know me for a long period of time, is always like finer than wine, because the more you get to know me, the better it is.
Mm,
So I just love life, just making the best out of everything and just learning. And that's the key, learning and growing and continuing with nonstop, and
absolutely.
take a break every now and then and just relax your mind and meditate and let it all sink in,
Okay.
so I could be better. It's all about being better than the
All,
year before.
all about being better than the year before.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right,
Hmm.
we got a few more folks on with us. Miss Sunshine Gwen here in Quincy, Florida, the Big Q. My cousin Denise, who's in Texas, and Miss Portia, who is down in South Florida. Thank you for being
Hey, Portia.
down in Miami. All right, so we are talking about gratitude. We're talking about
Gratitude.
gratitude, but hold up, I got my disclaimer. Before we do, and because I have a clinician on, I don't want you all to confuse this for counseling, although it's gonna be good like counseling, but it's not. All topics, past, present, and future, on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All righty. Thank you. All right. Oh, Miss Portia said, "Hey, Oz." Um, I got Janetta on here in Tallahassee and Miss Deborah Perry Porter from Quincy. Quincy is in the house tonight. I love it. All right. Thank you for being here. All right. So let's see. So gratitude. What is gratitude, Ozzy? What does it mean to you?
What gratitude means to me? Gratitude means in such a way that it will take up a whole hour to talk about it.
Okay, give
But
us the cliff notes. Give us the cliff notes.
so, really and truly, gratitude is about a state of being. It's not something you turn off and turn on. It's a state of mind. It's something that you actually have to live out and understand the meaning of it, and why it is so important. And one of the reasons why it's so important is because I will use this base as a scripture, for many. And I love it because it basically lined up with everything that I'm going to converse with everyone about tonight, which come from Hebrews 11:1. And it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for. Remember, keyword, substance, and now of things hoped for. The reality of things not seen.
Okay.
So therefore, you have to look at the substance. What is the substance? And what are you hoping for? And what is the reality you hoping to see? So now that is faith. Now, if we understand that part right there, we have to understand now, where does that connect to? Now, if we don't understand where that connect to, we're going to have a difficult time throughout our lifespan understanding the depth of gratitude. And the depth of gratitude is not just in the month of November when we all get together, the family gathering, and we give thanks for family. And all of that is beautiful. All of that is grand. And, you have the most busiest time of the year where people are flying from all over to be with family. And that is so wonderful because it's a great mindset. It's to be with family. You don't have to worry about gifts. All you have to worry about is breaking bread and sharing with each other time, playing games, and all of those wonderful things. And then probably the following month, Christmas come with a whole different twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorite time of the year, even though I was born on Christmas Day, is Thanksgiving. Why? Because it's all about being together, all about being with family, all about being with friends, and just enjoying each other's company. But the most important thing about it is this. We have to understand that there's a source of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Faith is derived and born out of gratitude.
Okay.
So if you don't have faith and you don't have gratitude, basically there's like you basically separated as far as the east from the west, the north and the south. And everything in between will just be negativity. And you filtering out, filtering in, filtering out, and filtering in. But if we get to the point of understanding the source,
Mm-hmm.
the source, which is the supreme,
Okay.
God himself, he is the source. And if we understand that everything comes from that source and everything is connected to that source, now we will be able to understand that, wait, hold on a second. I do have something to be grateful for. You have something grateful for having the breath of life.
Mm-hmm.
Without the breath of life, you're not living. Without
Right.
the breath of life, we're just corpse. But
Mm-hmm.
because we have the breath of life, we're hearing, we're seeing, we're tasting, and we just be able to move around and just do the physical things. But it's a little deeper than that.
Okay.
That's something to be thankful for. But we have to look at after that. Remember, we spoke about substance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the
What was
substance
that scripture again?
Hebrews 11:1.
Okay.
Now faith is, and I love it because it's always present tense. Now faith is. Everything is always now, and it will always be now in the present.
Okay.
So the substance is the intelligence, the formless intelligence. That's the substance. And the substance is the thought. So everyone have a thought. Everyone thinks. We are thinking substance. And with us being thinking substances, now we have to understand, now we need to be connected to the substance, which is the source himself, the creator, the supreme.
Mm.
Because everything we think about is going to form into its reality.
Okay.
So now, if we are thinking centers and we always think before anything take a form, it first have to be formless. And after the formless and the repetitiveness of it over and over and over, it will take form. That's why the word also says, whatsoever man thinketh, so is he.
Mm.
Right? So
Mhm.
everything starts with a thought.
Everything starts with a thought.
Everything started with thought. So now the Supreme, when he spoke and he brought everything in existence, he is a thought.
Mm-hmm.
There was a thought process that took place. And after that thought process took place, everything started to manifest because whatsoever he thinketh, he manifested and he created
Mm-hmm.
everything.
And we have that same power, no doubt.
And we have the same power.
Okay.
Exactly, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if we have the same power and we recognize we have the same power and we supposed to be creators, and if we're not connected to the power of all powers, we will not be creators.
Mm.
We'll just be competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And where there's competition, there's no creativity.
Mm. Where there's competition, there's no
There's
creativity.
no creativity because you're not being an original.
Mm. Okay.
So therefore, if you're creating and we are connected to the Supreme of all things, and the more we have harmony with that Creator, God Himself, now He will bring forth what we really totally made of.
Mm.
And it is to be creators. But it all starts with the formless, the thoughts. So what are we thinking? Studies show that we probably have about 6,200 thoughts a day,
Ooh.
whether seen, meditated on, reflected on, or forgot. It's still processing. But if we don't understand the processes, now we're going to have situations that really going to deter us out of that goal. Because now if we don't have thoughts and we don't have that single thought and that desire of what we want, you see, the thoughts come about and then what we want. Everybody desires something. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care how big it is or how small it is. We all desire something.
Right.
But now if we understand how the thought process come about and what we need to be aligning ourselves to it,
Mm.
now we could be able to be great creators and continually creators because now we are giving thanks and we are being grateful with gratitude to the Supreme. So that's the first place we need to give our thanks and we need to have gratitude towards. And when we have continuous gratitude towards Him, now we start having gratitude towards others because now we start seeing value.
So I'm a stop you right there, Ozzy,
Okay.
because I have witnessed some people.
Mm-hmm.
I have come across people in my goings and comings that are not grateful, and I am curious as to why that is. So I want to ask the viewers if you all have run across any ungrateful folks in your lives. And if you have, if you will just give me a thumbs up or wave your hand, give me some sign in the comments or just put a yes or give me a church finger. If you have run across any ungrateful people or people that are lacking gratitude in your life. All right. So a few people are commenting yes, yes, yes. So, Ozzy, I want you to, if you don't mind, if you can, possibly speak to what the source of that might be.
One of the greatest source of that is they have no base and no structure on what to be thankful for. They're just experiencing life, just going through life, going through the emotions.
Going through the motions.
Most of it is external locus of control. That means they're moving upon all the emotions that's going on and they're seeing everything that is happening, but yet they're not really sitting down to think about what is happening and how they could be a contributor and how they could make themselves better so they could be a blessing in the world. So therefore, if they're not getting the right resources and the right information and applying it into their own life, now it become a situation. Because it all starts from us. It all starts from you. It starts from me. I can't blame you and you can't blame me. It's all about taking personal responsibility. And when we start to take personal responsibility and accountability for ourselves, now we are allowing ourselves to start thinking about the best way to go about doing things. And it's not like, oh, I'm better than you or you're better than me. No, it's, am I doing better for myself? If I'm not doing better for myself, I'm not going to better for no one else. So if we could come down to that source of understanding that it starts from me. But now if we understand that I am connected to him, the creator, the supreme, the formless intelligence, and I give gratitude for my being, because remember, gratitude is it's a being. It's an act of being. It's not just a feeling. I can give you a nice gift and you're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Ozzie. I really appreciate it. This is so nice. This is so fitting. You know, that emotions is a great emotion. It will just last for a short time. Right? But now, what are we keeping in our life to really say, I am really grateful and I am deeply, 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 deeply moved and grateful for what I have or whatever goals I have set in my mind? Because if we have a goal and we have a desire and we connect, now we could be thankful for reaching that goal, even though we may not see that goal completed yet. For example, you started school, working on whatever degree. There's a start and there's an end. And between that start and that end, there's a process.
Right.
But now, if we actually use the process correctly and just align ourselves, now we will see the goal, the end goal. But now we know we're going to get there because we know we're connected to the right things or people, the support system, and you're grateful for that support system that is there in your life to help get you through. But even if you're alone and there's no one else, still, you got to know yourself. You got to understand who you are, what you're made of, and the qualities and the attributes that is there wired within us. And going back on what you just said a while ago, why people are so ungrateful? One simple answer: they're disconnected.
Okay. So let me pause. I see Kiosha's on here. Good evening. And Lynette is on here. So Marjorie has a comment. Marjorie said, hey, Marjorie, thanks for being here. She said, I have run across many people who lack gratitude for the small accomplishments to get to the larger goal. They expect the large goal or nothing else matters. For example, I will be grateful when I get that house. Not I'm grateful I was able to reach the credit score requirement, the ability to save a little more this month towards a deposit, the pre-approval. They just want the house and miss the many blessings in between.
Yes.
Good
That is so true, Marjorie.
point.
That is so true.
She
And
also
guess what? Even though they reach that goal and get that house, the worst thing is to have something of magnitude and you cannot enjoy it.
indeed. She
You
said
can't live comfortable in it.
we must thank God in all things,
All
in
stages.
all stages.
And that is the foundation. That is the foundation. And that's why I started out with Hebrews 11:1. You know, we have to understand now faith is
Yes.
the substance. So now we think about the substance. What is the substance? It is that intelligence, that formless intelligence that now need to be materialized. But if we're not connected to that formless intelligence and be grateful for it to help us through it, now we'll just be missing the mark all the time. It's going to be a struggle because now we not in that creativity mode. Now we're in a competitive mode. Oh, I'm going to get a bigger house than he got. I'm going to get a better car than she got. I'm going to get more finer clothing that she or he got. Well, you see, that's a competitive mind. The God is not in that.
Right.
Because now you'll think about if you start being a creator and hanging with a creator, he may bring you to a place on how to market and how to build and how to make an increase upon that. Because the creative mind is always increasing, always increasing.
Indeed.
Multiplication always come with creativity.
Yes. Lisa said some also have envy and materialism, both dwelling on what they do not have. These traits include narcissism and cynicism. Two are enemies of gratefulness. So it's hard for people who have these characteristics to walk in gratefulness.
Absolutely. And it's sad. It's very sad. And you know what? It's so crazy that some people have to be brought to a place of sickness, even though some still may not be grateful. Some people have to be brought to a place of lowliness in order to be grateful. But you know what? Sometimes that process have to take place for true transformation take place. So the earlier we could transform our thoughts and transform our thinking and align our thinking, and by being proactive, now we are able to even have much more gratitude because we know it is a process.
Yes, it is a process. Marjorie said the biggest mistake is measuring your gratitude based on the validation of others.
Which is a terrible way to go.
It is.
It is a terrible way to go. Because with it or without it, you should still know. And it's all about who you're really spiritually connected to. And if we're not, we will never grow.
Right.
We'll never grow, we'll never transform, and we'll always be suffering.
Indeed. So that gets into that, just touches more on the Lisa's comment about envy. So that whole comparison and envy piece, that is a barrier to gratitude.
Yes.
So
and number one check off in gratitude is staying away from the spirit of competition.
Very
stay
good.
away from it in ourselves and stay away from it with others. Why? Because it suffocates gratitude. It suffocates being creative because we want to always keep our mind into the creative. And the only way to do that is to stay plugged in.
Indeed. Thank you for being here, Blanche. She said, we can thank God for things, but if there is unforgiveness in your heart, then you are not being real with God nor yourself.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So how do we really understand what gratitude is all about? There's a psalmist that says, draw nigh to God and he will draw nigh to you. So for us to really understand the depth of gratitude at the end of the day or in the beginning of the day or the midday is always remembering that unless you draw nigh, he's not going to draw nigh because we have a free will to draw nigh. But he wants to bring the best out of us. And a lot of us fearful, thinking that, he's going to punish us. He's going to take this away from us. He's going to make us suffer. That is not his nature. That is not his nature. If he wants the best for his children, If he wants the best for his children, therefore, he's going to make sure everything is provided and there, because that's how he get to shine through his light through
Mm-hmm.
us. That's how light is shine through us, is through that method.
Indeed. So
Is there such as
Kiosha,
healthy
yeah,
competition?
Kiosha's asking the question: is there such a thing as healthy competition?
Okay, what is the measurement? Are you measuring yourself against yourself, or are you measuring yourself against that person? And if it's say you're playing a game of checkers, right? Well, that's a healthy that's a competition because you're trying to win,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But how do you treat that person after you win?
Mm-hmm.
How do you call them out of their name, or they call you out of their name when the game is over? Because you're going to have a winner and you're going to have a loser, you know. So therefore, where there's competition, they're going to be there's an opening, I should say, for some strife.
All right, but
There's an opening for some strife because
it's a matter on how you
perceive it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you say you want to be a basketball player and you
Mm-hmm.
want to be the best basketball player, right? The only thing that you should be doing is working on your skills.
Mm-hmm.
Working on your skills, how you could better yourself, how you could master the game, but then too you have to remember there's a team unless you're playing one-on-one. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a team. So how are you going to contribute towards the team, and how are you going to lead the team if you're a leader, and how are you going to bring the best out of your teammates as they bring the best out of you?
Mm-hmm.
So now you having that cohesiveness that is going on between a team. But now when you're playing another team, you have to know, okay, you're on opposite sides. They're going
Indeed.
to be a winner and they're going to be a loser. But how
It's
you treat
right.
that person afterwards is really your upbringing and your real deep roots.
So I would say yes, there is. You can do healthy competition, but before we continue this conversation on, let me pause. For those of you who may be just joining us, this is Mindset Monday Conversations with Nicole. I'm on with Ozzie Daniel, a clinician. He's based in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And we are talking all things gratitude. What is gratitude? Why should we have it? What are some of the barriers to gratitude? So, Janetta, thank you for being here. She said, viewing life from the perspective that everything works for our good makes us appreciate all experiences. We have great experiences and great lessons. We need both.
We need both. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why we need both and to understand that is because the transformation is taking place. And the transformation is always there to take, oh Lord.
And Lisa says she can't play spades with people.
Oh,
She can't handle the
that
intensity
is
of the
no,
competition and the
it's not
trash
even
talking.
that is like a serious competition because it's you against three other people
Right.
and everybody trying to collect their books unless you have a
A
partner, of
team.
course.
Right.
You
Right.
know, yeah,
Right.
they get sensitive, and please don't let alcohol be involved because now we're really going to get twisted. Yeah, you know.
You sound like you speaking from experience, Ozzy.
Oh, yes, I played some spades back in the days, and yes, I know how the game roll, you know. But I play to win, you know. I
I
had
could you probably was trash talker number one too.
oh yes, I was trash talking too, of course, you know. Like I'll give you a perfect example. Like my brother and I, the brother after me, we've been partners in playing spades against the two younger brothers, and up to now, they probably have not won two games out of all these years that we've been playing spades, which has been a long time since we last played spades. But yeah, and my youngest brother, he'll get twisted real quick. And all I would do is just stay there and laugh, you know. But at the end of the day, we love each other. But you know, it may not be a wonderful evening afterwards until the next day because some people get into their feelings
Mm.
and get real hurt and twisted. So that is a disconnection by itself because some people just can't let it go.
Indeed.
You
Indeed.
know, yeah, and they can't let it go. But we have to understand the spirit of gratitude. That is a keynote that we're really trying to share tonight, is understand the being of it and the spirit of it and the contribution and the attributes of it that will help us draw nearer to God and God nearer to us so we can live out our best life. But if we forget this one thing called gratitude, it will really going to take away a lot of the blessings that is in store for us. So one of the most important thing that I would suggest to everyone who ever listening right now or later on is have a gratitude journal.
Mm-hmm.
Have a gratitude journal every day. Write down at least 3 things you're thankful for. Now, what happened after that? You started to build a strong, consistent mindset of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So now it won't be and the more we do that, it's going to eliminate that competition mindset and that competition thought processes out of our mind, and it will enhance more positivity, greater vibe about ourselves. And then the most important thing about it is you'll start attracting goodness into your life.
Hmm. Okay, pause right there. I'm gonna come back to it. Iris had a comment that I think we should pay attention to for a moment. She said focusing too much on negative past events can prevent us from truly embracing an attitude of gratitude. It's okay to acknowledge the pain, but you cannot reside in it. You have to let the past go.
Yes. And that is a great point, Iris. That
Mhm.
is a very great point. And most of us, we quick to hold on to the hurt and hold on to the pain and hold on to the grudges and hold on to all of these things. Nothing wrong in being aware. Don't be ignorant,
Mhm.
be aware, but know that there's a transformation that could take place by what did you learn from it. Now that's a sense of gratitude right there,
Mhm.
is what did I learn from it and how am I going to make it better?
Mhm.
What can I do to make it better? So when you go into your prayer closet or you go into your meditation, now you're getting into a mode into your spirit so you could flush out the things that is depressing or decreasing you from being your best.
Okay.
And the best thing that we could ever do is having a gratitude, which actually going to enhance our attitude,
Okay.
because it'll keep us in a positive attitude all the time to the point that negativity, when it do come, it won't last. It won't be able to stay because only one thing could stay in the house. Two things cannot be in the same house because now it's double-minded. Is a
Okay.
shift. It's shifting.
All right.
And
Keo.
that could bring on mental illness.
Yes. Kiosha asked the question, is there a difference between gratitude and thankfulness?
Gratitude and thankfulness, they kind of align with each other because now you being thankful for whatever you have or you received. So every day I get up, I thank the Lord for a new day. That's being thankful. I thank the Lord for strength and courage. That is being thankful. Now, the gratitude is acknowledging the source, because now I acknowledge the source to the point I want to get closer to the source so I could actually feel his presence and feel the goodness into my own being, that now I really have gratitude, because now I'm not just living just for living. I'm living with a purpose.
Hmm.
See, when we live with a purpose and we have gratitude for it, now that purpose is going to materialize, it's going to grow depth, and it's going to get wider, and it's going to influence.
Okay.
And once we have that mindset, knowing that, and it's a seed, it's a seed. We keep planting that seed, and you're going to keep on growing deeper roots and bearing much fruit. Think about us like a tree. Once you keep on watering it, out of a spirit of gratitude, now we end up bearing much fruit. We end up bearing more influence, our goals, everything, going to invite others into being part of it, because why? They see value of it. You
Mm,
know, so many words could be used and different articulation of it could be used. But when we understand the depth of gratitude, now we are connecting. It's all about that connecting, you
okay.
know? And once we get that into our minds and we understand we are thinking centers, remember that we are thinking centers, and everything that we think about first were formless,
Mhm.
and then it became a form, and then it uttereth out
Okay. The manifestation.
the manifestation. So
Mhm.
therefore we have to be mindful of our own words.
Right. Well, we have to be mindful of our thoughts, and
There
then
you go. And it
right.
starts with our thoughts. Everything originate with thought. Before you see even this cup, that was a thought.
Mhm.
Somebody brought that into being. They had to get it manufactured, they had to get the investors, they had to get whatever lined up they need to bring this one product.
Mhm.
But it all started with a thought.
Yeah.
So where's our thoughts?
So Lisa said, so we bear more fruit in direct correlation to our depth of gratitude.
Perfect. Now we could just close the mic off, shut the everything out for now. She just closed it with that final saying right there. You can't get more better than that. That is
Mhm.
right on point, Lisa, with a depth of gratitude. And that's the
Yeah.
point. Getting into the depth of gratitude,
Into the depth of gratitude.
you know.
Hey, Cara, thanks for being here.
Mhm.
So I'm writing notes, right? So for
Mhm.
takeaways, I have a gratitude journal. So I had a question about a gratitude journal. You said
Mhm.
write down 3 things each day that we are thankful for, right?
Yes.
Am I supposed to say these things at the end of the day?
You could say it at the end of the day,
Okay.
and you could say it first thing in the morning
Okay.
as a reminder.
All right.
You
And
know,
now,
but
is it
what
okay?
it does, it raises our awareness, Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
It raises our awareness, and by raising our awareness, now we started to flow into a whole different realm,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
now we start to attract what we need to be attracting into our life for purpose and live a purposeful life, because that's what it really comes down to. But really, truly, if you have a deep desire, the best thing to do is to connect to the source, but thank him for it before you even have it.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right. So Irish just put a comment up that I was just getting ready to ask the viewers, did anybody have a gratitude journal? And if so, how has it benefited you? So she said, I love the gratitude journal. It's a great reminder of what is going well in life. Even on the worst day, there is something to be grateful for. Thank you for sharing,
Absolutely.
Iris. All right, Kiosha said she does. Anybody else have a gratitude journal? I don't, but I've been thinking about doing that. Um, Anybody else have a gratitude journal? And if
I
so,
have a gratitude journal
you
because
do?
I write every single day.
Okay,
I'm always writing.
okay.
Hmm.
All right. And how has it benefited you having a
It,
gratitude journal?
it really benefit me by helping me stay on focus,
Okay.
staying on the right path.
Mhm.
And it helps me to even value people even more, because what it does, it really enhances my attitude, you
Okay.
know. So now I'm flowing into a different realm, because now I'm not looking at being suspicious. I'm not
Mhm.
thinking about, oh, who's coming, who's going to do this. All this distraction that will come about to deter you from being focused.
Mhm.
So it really distracts. So whatever we give our attention to, we become.
Indeed. All right. So
Whatever we
several.
give attention to, we become. So we need to find out, what are we really giving our attention to? And if it's taking up so much of our time and it's making us angry to
Mhm.
the point of disgust, now we have made this thing an idol.
Indeed. All right. So several folks are chiming in. And yes, Cara, I can be your gratitude journal accountability partner. I didn't even know that was a thing. But
You just
leave it
created that
leave
one.
it to
That's good.
Cara. Yes, Cara, I will. Yes. So someone asked, do you write in it every day? Yes, Blanche. I think that is the idea. You write in it every day. Kiosha said it helps her focus. Marjorie, no journal, but I do take time at the end of the night to thank God for what I am grateful for. It sets your mindset for the next day.
That's
I
a perfect,
so I do
a
that in the
good
morning.
attitude.
First thing in the morning, I wake up, I say thank you,
Hmm.
God. Kiosha, what we give our attention to grows. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Iris, I have been keeping a regular journal for 4 years. I write everything in there. It's good being able to see the answered prayers over time. Rereading comforts me on tough days. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for
Absolutely.
sharing that. I'm going to start me one. Yes, good deal. I think Beverly said she was going to start one too. Kudos, good deal.
Okay.
Waylon, I wrote my statements weekly on my mirror, sticky notes, laptops, etc. When my anxiety cranks up, I have to recenter and shift my perspective. So no gratitude journal. It's okay,
Okay.
but you have something else that it sounds like it's working for you.
Yes. Yes. And it helps set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
It helps set the tone because now when we give our time and we give our energy into this, it helps us see things better and even be a greater help to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Not being judgmental, not being critical, not finding some kind of issues so we could be talking about how terrible this person is or how terrible, but now it put us in a whole different mindset because we want to be an example.
Yes.
We want to be a light. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the best way of being a light and to draw nearer to God is by having a heart of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we start to live that out every day and it start getting ingrained in our being, into a marrow of our bones, we cannot help but living a blessed life.
Okay.
I guarantee you, you will never have a day poor in your days of your life with a heart of gratitude. You will not see poverty with a heart of gratitude because it it draws God near to you and
Mm-hmm.
it draw you near to Him.
Okay. So my second takeaway was what did I learn from the experience? So asking yourself, what did you learn from the experience,
Mhm.
and how can you make it better, right? Make your life better
Right.
as a result of what you've gone through.
Yeah. Well,
Anything else as it relates to a takeaway relative to gratitude?
when we learn something and we take the time to write out what we learn, and because whatever our goals may be or whatever desire we may have, and we write it down and we really purposely focus on those things to for it to come to pass, and we writing along, sometimes the answers come to us while we're writing. The thoughts come to us while we're writing. Things that we were not sure of, now it start to come to us. Why? Because now we open that channel to the formless intelligence to actually manifesting within our being so we could actually form our thoughts in the right way.
Okay.
So, as I said a couple months ago, if we're not learning, we're not growing. And if we're not learning, we're shrinking that part of our brain called the hippocampus.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to maximize and grow into our later years is by learning. So, what are we learning? What are we giving our time and energy to so
Mm-hmm.
we can maximize? You
Okay.
know, but if anything, learn to stay out of the spirit of competition. That is
So
the biggest barrier that we could ever encounter. And believe me, we sometimes not aware of it because we're not giving focus to it.
So is it competition or comparison?
Well, if you want to say comparison also, you could put that in 1A. But when I say competition, that means when you're competing, right? That means you actually allowing other focal things to come in, which is envy,
Well, wait a minute now.
jealousy.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
Wait. Your
Okay.
Eagles competed.
Now we're about to go into, but okay, I'll give you a good point. I'll give you a good point. Remember we said earlier if there's anything called healthy competition?
Yes.
Okay, at the end of the game, when the 49ers was losing,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew they were about to go home and fly all the way back to California,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, and I'm putting him on blast, actually took one of my Eagles player and actually shove him down to the
Mm-hmm.
ground out of
Mm-hmm.
frustration,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the Eagle guy player, he actually retaliated, right? So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? There's always a penalty. Both of them got thrown out, but it
Right.
was almost the end of the game. But a standard had to be set. A standard had to be shown. That's why you have referees.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
That's why you have referees.
So Blanche said there's no healthy competition. Somebody got to win and somebody got to lose.
Somebody got so now. Guess what? Now I'm about to paint you a nice, beautiful picture there, Nicole.
Okay.
How many relationships have you known of? Marriages that you known of,
Mm-hmm.
couples that you known of, and all they ever do is compete against each other or try to outdo each other.
I don't really
And tell
know.
me how healthy that is. And to the point, they can't live in harmony. There's no harmony. There's no harmony in competition. There's no harmony. They're always going to be some type of strife. That's why these sports analysts get paid. They talk about these teams, talk about who competed, and then you go with a comparison about who's better than who got this and who got that, and who could make more money than this person, who should get paid more money than this other person. Yeah. Now, yeah, they may be grateful that they get drafted, but the key is there's always something rooted deeply in that. Yeah, they may make millions of dollars so they could help others or contribute to others and give to others or whatever, live a large life. But guess what?
And that's something to be grateful for.
That if you're grateful for that and you center your life on that and being grateful about that with gratitude, now you really presented something different. Like Wilson, who played for the Broncos, even though they
Mm-hmm.
were real sorry this year. But
See, look at
he
you.
have that mindset and that attitude into his skill work
Mm-hmm.
in at the quarterback stage to be his best he could be. But he spent a lot of charity time with in the hospitals and stuff like that.
All right.
But
Well, we may
let's
have
just
to
get the understanding
we
that
may have to agree to disagree on this one. I think that healthy competition can exist. Um, that's my opinion.
yeah,
But definitely it depends on the attitude of the players. And I did want to acknowledge Lisa's comment. Yes, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate it.
thank you, Lisa.
I'm glad to be an inspiration and encourage you to journal.
Uh-huh.
I'm
That's a
following
good
suit, doing
question.
the same. Marjorie says, so when you compete, what is your takeaway? When you lose, do you walk away with positive feedback to yourself about improvements? Or
Hmm.
do you rage and become obsessive about winning eventually, pride and narcissism, etc.? I think you use it well, and maybe this is just me, I don't know. I think you use it as a tool for improvement. I
You're
do.
supposed to use it as a tool for improving yourself.
Hmm.
That's the key. Using it as a tool to improve yourself and seeing what skills you need to work on to better yourself.
Exactly.
Now, when you better yourself, now you have something to contribute.
Mm.
But if you're just doing things out of anger,
No.
And rage is just showing your character. And there's a deeper root to that.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, a real transformation have not occurred into that person's life.
Yeah, I think people, Blanche is saying it's still not healthy because it will cause someone to get angry. They choose to get angry.
That's a
They could
choice.
choose something else.
Yeah.
They could choose not to get angry and to learn from whatever the experience was.
It really stem on self-confidence and self-confidence out of self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
there goes the psychological makeup on
in-
that whole ordeal.
indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got takeaways, gratitude journal. What did I learn from this experience? Asking yourself, questioning yourself about what did you learn from the experience, and how can you uh, use the thing, I guess, and I'm extending this, use that which serves you well to continue to be a part of your life, right?
Yes.
If there's something that serves you well from that.
And the most important thing,
Mm-hmm.
number one,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have gratitude to the Supreme.
Okay.
You have to be, in order to bring the best out of yourself, you have to be connected. And I mean, I'm not even saying that on a religious term or any other denomination or anything. Everyone came from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they is an original source
Okay.
that been coming and birthed everything into being. That's why we should not envy and we should not have no jealousy, because we shouldn't have to like, oh, I have to get this plot of land before this person get it. Well, guess what? They always going to be other plot of land. Why? Because if we understand the origination of all things, now we have to worry about nothing.
Okay.
Why? Because it will place us in the right place at the right time. Because remember, now faith is. So now if we operate it in the now and understand in the now we know when now is the time, nothing can take away that time from anyone,
Mm.
because it is that time.
All
But
right.
when we understand that, that take growth, that take time, that take development, that take cultivation, you know. So we have to work from where we are,
Yes.
and that's the key. Work from where we are.
Yes.
So
Oh,
that's what I've been really meditating on for the last 3 months, and it really bring me to a whole different place in my life to be thankful for and to be grateful in all things. Why? Because there's way more greater that need to be discovered out of every single one of us. And but the more we sink in and we hold on to that one truth and we let it illuminate in our life, it's only going to bring out the best out of us. Why? Because it'll take away a complaining spirit. It'll take away a griping spirit, an envious spirit, a jealous spirit, a covetous spirit. It'll take away all of these things. Why? Because now we don't see no need to act that way, because it's all about acting in a certain way. But we're not going to act in a certain way, in the right way, if we're not alignment or in alignment with gratitude.
all right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. So
Well, we are coming up on the end of our hour. So I want to thank you, Ozzie, so much
welcome.
for joining us today, kicking off the new year with us with the topic of gratitude. I want you to tell the people how can they connect with you.
Well, you could connect with me right here on Facebook, Ozzie Daniel, or you could message me in Messenger, Ozzie Daniel, or you could email me at theozcorner@gmail.com, or hit me up on IG, Ozzie the Oz Daniel on IG, and feel free, to communicate, share your thoughts, give feedback. feedback is always good, whether it may be something I could learn from, something I could be aware about. I always take everything as a learning experience because we could all grow from that.
All righty, very good. Well, I hope you all have found this beneficial. Some of you are already commenting that you enjoyed it. Marjorie said we
Very
can have
good.
a
I
whole
always
new show on complaining alone.
oh my
Marjorie,
God.
we are not
Yeah.
putting our energy into that.
Thanks for coming out, Marjorie. Appreciate it.
So if
And
you all,
everyone else.
yes, so if you all have found this beneficial, let us know in the comments by giving us some hearts or thumbs up or something, some emoji or something.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Nicole. I really
Yes,
appreciate the time and the hour well spent.
my pleasure.
Yeah,
My
thank you,
pleasure.
Lisa.
Yes. Thank
Uh,
you, Lisa. Thank you, Blanche. Thank you all for your interactiveness. We appreciate your transparency and your willingness to share tonight. Thank you, Quay.
yeah,
Appreciate you.
that was awesome.
Thank you, Miss
Yeah.
Gwen. Thank you for tagging people. Boy, Miss Gwen be rounding them up. You hear me?
All right, thanks, Porsche.
Thank you, Miss Portia. Appreciate you. All right. So now I see you, Johnny. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Cara. Glad you joined in as well. So, for those of you again who may be new to the platform, I invite you to subscribe to the Conversations with Nicole YouTube channel. Or if you have a Roku TV, add Greater Works Network. Greater Works Network, you have to type it in. And once you do, we will be on your television. Anytime you turn it on, you'll see the GWN logo. I see you, Miss Jeanette, down in Miami. Thank you so much. So, Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, we have Dr. Latanya White, who has been on CWN before, but on the regular seasons, she has gotten her dissertation since she was last on, or she has gotten her doctorate rather. She's defended her
Oh,
dissertation, gotten her
congratulations.
doctorate. Yes, congratulations indeed. And so she's going to come on and chat with us some about some of the research she did on dynastic wealth. Actually, the topic is, why is spiritual wealth necessary in building your family dynasty? Why
Mm,
is spiritual wealth necessary in building your family dynasty? So you don't
that
want to
is
miss this.
awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to miss
That's
this
a good topic.
conversation.
That's a
Yeah,
deep topic.
it is a deep topic.
Mm,
So definitely tell your friends they need to be on here on Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time for that conversation, and bring your questions as well.
yes.
All right. Well, Ozzie, thanks again.
You're welcome, Nicole. Anytime.
All right. All right.
Yes. So I really appreciate everyone taking this time and hour, I call it the hour power
The
of
hour.
thinking, so we could get our minds, calibrated and even processing some things to help us is always to make us better.
Indeed.
What we need, we grab onto, and what we don't need, it will fade away eventually. So,
Mhm.
as I always say, and the ground said, don't bring me your need, bring me your seed. That's how the
Mhm.
tree grows.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Good word. Good word. And so also get those gratitude journals going. For
Yes.
those of you who said you will start, I'm going to start mine as well. So we'll be
Mm.
all in this together. So at any rate, you all have a great rest of the evening, and we will see y'all next time.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.